Stars Through a Blackened Branch, a play. Title of characters: Eddie Hillesum, a 29-year-old Dutch-Russian Jewish woman with dark hair, strong features, and pale skin. Writer, philosopher, and scholar, she experiences an intense spiritual transformation during the last 2.5 years of her life, prior to incarceration at Westerbork Transit Camp and death in Auschwitz-Birkenau. She leaves extensive diaries and letters that chronicle her inner journey. As played by Daunielle Rasmussen. Pauline, contemporary 50-something-year-old American non-Jewish woman, petite with gray hair, casually dressed, elegant, and refined. She is a poet, scholar, and student divorced with grown children and grandchildren, as played by Jessa Berkner. Rainer Maria Rilke, a 50-something male German Czech poet widely regarded as the greatest lyric poet of the 20th century. He is elegantly dressed in early 20th century clothes and delicately built, as played by Jessa Berkner. Helene Sissou Chorus, a 3 to 5 woman chorus based on the contemporary Jew woman Helene Sissou, poet, philosopher, writer of German Ashkenazi and French Sephardic heritage. Excerpts from her books provide the lyrics for the chorus, dressed in simple black contemporary clothes, as played by Leslie Johnston. Act 1, Scene 5.
Who are you?
I'm your friend, you know, poetry and all that.
You can't be.
Oh, but I am, Reiner in the flesh. Well, not really, but I'm here. Nice view.
What are you doing here?
I like your face.
But you're in my tree. It's not safe.
Precisely. I never climbed trees as a boy, too frail, too small.
But the Nazis chopped the branches off this week.
Inanity, insanity.
A strange cruelty, yes. Firewood.
Reiner slips a little.
Watch out!
Well, enough of this. I've met your tree. May I come in now?
Of course. Oh, do be careful.
Nice. Warm. That Moroccan woman on the wall reminds me of... No, never mind. Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, and who's this?
As if it's any of your business, sir.
St. Augustine, funny fellow. Mother love, woman hate, God to sublimate, or was it the other way around?
So, why me?
Well, I do love women, all kinds.
Yes, I know. Your mother, not so much. I'm reading everything you wrote.
Words, so many words. A poet's heart need never starve. We eat loneliness like pie. Oh, and loss. Loss is like a full meal, potatoes and roast beef.
And what of joy and love?
Oh, well, love is quite terrible. And I suppose joy loves everything.
Oh, I'm forgetting my manners. Would you like some tea? I don't have much, but...
Butter, biscuits, and tea. Why not?
Please, sit down.
You asked me to come?
Did I?
Yes, I heard you speak my name many times.
I've needed you more than bread. When my feet are sore from standing in long lines for hours just for a packet of butter like this. No more trolleys or buses or trains, you know. Bicycles are next. After that, maybe they'll chop off our feet.
Gruesome thought.
Or when I've heard of another friend taken in the night. Or when they've chopped off those branches. Your poems come home to every aching question. I cling to your words as if to God. God talks to each of us as he creates us.
From the hours.
Yes. Then walks with us silently out of night. But the words spoken to us before we start, those cloudy words are these.
Sent forth by your senses. Go to the very edge of your desire. Invest me.
Back behind the things grow as fire, so that their shadows lengthened will always and completely cover me.
Let everything happen to you. Beauty and Terror, only press on, no feeling is final. Don't let yourself be cut off from me. Nearby is that country known as life.
You will recognize it by its seriousness.
Give me your hand.
Thank you.
Act 1, Scene 10.
He thinks I don't understand. Stupid Eddie with her head in the clouds, her heart wrapped up in this man or that, but I do. Damn him, I do. I know that what they're after is our total destruction. I accept it. I know it now, and I won't burden others with my fears. I won't be bitter if others fail to grasp what's happening to us Jews. I work and continue to live with the same conviction, and I find life meaningful. Yes, meaningful. Although I hardly dare say so in company these days. Living and dying, sorrow and joy, the blisters on my feet and the jasmine behind the house, the persecution, the unspeakable horrors, it's all as one in me. And I accept it all as one mighty whole and begin to grasp it better, if only for myself, without being able to explain to anyone else how it all hangs together. I wish I could live for a long time so that one day I may know how to explain it. And if I'm not granted that wish, well, then somebody else might do it. Carry on from where my life has been cut short. And the jasmine. Oh God, I must remember the jasmine. I can't take in how beautiful it is, but there's no need to. It's enough simply to believe in miracles in the 20th century. And I do. Even though the lice will be eating me up in Poland before long. That jasmine.
Act 2, Scene 1. Eddie, Pauline, and Helene chorus.
Here, listen to this. It's a manifesto of sorts. To be true to one's own spontaneity. To be true to every feeling and thought that has started to germinate. To be true in the fullest sense of the word. To be true to God, to one's own best moments. If I have one duty in these times, it is to bear witness. Well, what do you think?
Well, it sounds like you through and through, but do you really think it's possible? Now, I mean?
I don't know, but I'll die trying.
Yes, you will. And every time I read the last pages of your journals and letters, I feel as if you've just died and I'm standing at your grave.
Which I never had, by the way.
You're only 29 years old. My daughter is 29 years old.
And if I'd lived, I'd be, let me see. I'd be 97 years old. I'd probably be
Dead.
Yes, dead again.
Tears, it's women who weep. It's a call, it's an act of faith. White ink is salted milk. Tears, the melted words we eat, we feed with milk and ink.
A few weeks ago, I watched a baby girl in a lace-knit cap die in her mother's arms, her breasts hanging like empty sacks.
Last week, I lost a friend to colon cancer, metastasized to everywhere.
Your cheeks are wet.
Tears and words. Tears before and after words.
Here, let me read your tears. I see.
What do you see?
You've buried more.
Or what?
Many people, more tears. They're swimming underneath your ribs.
And you?
Behind my breast, pillows for the buried dead.
Crying, it's a call, it's an act of faith.
And so we cry, squeeze them out our eye.
I have been crying all my life, it seems. Cry baby, my daddy said, and now he's long dead.
Loss is always the child.
We're always coming home.
Let it in and let it go.
We continue.
We know how to flow.
Spread it out.
Release. I used to write, but now I cry.
White ink is salted milk. Tears, the melted words we eat, we feed with milk and ink.
I've eaten your words like bread and sweet milk.
Even so, you're still hungry.
But I've eaten.
Not enough love.
I'm learning to cook.
Now learn to eat off someone else's plate.
I'm more afraid of being eaten alive. Consumed like a tasty treat. I'm sweeter than apple pie. Tender like filet mignon.
You were so young.
A little girl.
We are so many little girls.
Too young for words.
Only tears. What have you lost?
Breath and love.
And what have you gained?
Freedom. I sleep alone with plenty of room.
And why do you weep?
I'm tired of eating alone.
We'll eat with you then. It's a woman thing to do. Tears for dinner.
Bread for breakfast.
Meat for lunch.
Act 2, Scene 2, Pauline and Eddie.
Sitting in my chair in the window. Sun, grass, ivy, flowers, late spring, sky, new leaves singing. A large butterfly, yellow and black, flutters into the faces of clematis, geranium, sage, and rose, drinking its breakfast, even as I read Helene Sissou on Eddie. Poets, saving poetry in the blinding darkness. Poets holding out their hands to poets. Some crushed, all die. While she was sitting on trash cans, people marched by on their way to death.
I settle myself on this garbage can, legs crossed, and I see what I see. They march, not stroll. The ground is cold and hard. They stumble, not crawl, like actors in an endless play, no way off stage. I sit and see. I see my mothers and my sisters, the friends I'll never know or share a cup of coffee with, while trees still line the streets of Amsterdam. I see from their hands the last petals of summer fall. I trace their untold times with my fingers in dust, burn black lines into the beams and rafters of my brain. I see what I see, and see what can't be seen, knowing I'm next. If not tomorrow, then the next. I see a butterfly, large with yellow wings, edged in black lace like night, streaming black antennae, impossible eyes sprung on air. It hovers in my face as if to feed itself from what can't be seen, fills all the gaps, this tiny bit of silken wings hung between the real and pending death.
Poets saving poetry in the blinding darkness, poets holding out their hands to poets, some crushed, all die. Poets saving poets. Act 1, Scene 3.
You're back.
It would seem that I am.
I'm so glad you came back before the end. Come, sit down with me. Here.
What end? There are so many ends.
Well, mine.
Oh, you mean the end?
If there's such a thing, it's coming on a train. Soon. What's wrong? You're not afraid of anything anymore. I mean, why should you be?
Oh, my dear, dear girl. Don't kid yourself. God, look at this. This is a truly horrible place.
There are worse, I fear.
But how did you get from there to here? I don't understand.
Oh, you know.
I don't know much.
But you do.
No, I don't know anything. Here. Who brought you here?
These strange times. They say we're not meant to live. Exterminate the Jews.
Like bugs. I don't understand.
But you do. You say it, right here. Orpheus still plays his lyre. Only he who lives his lyre in the underworld as well may come back to praising endlessly.
Rubbish. Pure rubbish. The world has grown even madder. I didn't think it possible.
Anything's possible.
I've got to get out of here. Get back.
To your pretty castle walls.
Oh, that's not fair. Not fair at all.
But I take you with me wherever I go.
But how?
Not how, but who sings in your poetry and why.
I never meant...
Meaning means a lot to me.
Can love matter here?
It's almost all that's left.
But really you die?
I imagine so. You know.
I don't.
You do. I've loved many men. They were so hungry, I gave them my body as bread. Have you?
Many women, maybe even you.
You silly man. And yet, their flowers fade when I sing to the children here. And at night, I listen to the women and girls dreaming aloud, quietly sobbing and tossing and turning in their bunks. I lie awake for hours, letting the sorrows of the day wash over me, and do you know what I think?
I can't imagine.
I say to my little God inside of me, who's so in need of my good care, I want to be the thinking heart of these barracks. And that is what I want to be, the thinking heart of this whole concentration camp. And then do you know what I do? I go to sleep. In all that muck, I go to sleep. Come on, old chap.
No, I've really got to go.
Oh, please, not yet. It's not as bad as all that, at least not all of the time. Come along, let me show you.
Eddie grabs Reiner's hand.
In the evening, we go and watch the sun setting over the purple lupin behind the barbed wire. There, over there, can you see?
Yes, but
It's so beautiful. Sometimes I could laugh with the joy of all this beauty, but shh. I must always keep it to myself, or they'll think I'm crazy.
maybe you are.
Do you think I'm crazy?
Please, let me go. What good am I to you here?
You fed me bread behind these prison walls.
But you're starving.
Not quite. You see, friends still send some food. Just yesterday, a tin of jam and 6 eggs for Mother and Father.
Eddie, stop!
What?
Why did you bring me here?
I couldn't have come this far without you.
But I never...
You didn't have to. You wrote it down for me, don't you see?
Your flowers bloom behind barbed wire.
There's a lot of dirt here. Sometimes I see ash falling from the stars at night.
Do you believe the dead can breathe?
When every star has fallen, what will be left?
Poets saving poetry in the blinding darkness. Poets holding out their hands to poets, some crushed, all die. Poets saving poets. Act 2, Scene 6, Pauline and Eddie.
Tell me,
They're all ghosts now, Pauline.
like you.
If you wish.
Yes. No. I don't know. We're drinking tea.
Yes, we're drinking tea. I've been thinking.
You're always thinking.
Stop.
What?
It seems forever now that you've held my hand through the desert. Listening to my rants and worries made a place for me.
At my table. Right here.
A place where I belong.
But the dying's never done.
I'm tired.
I believe in you.
It matters, you know. This love.
Does it?
You asked me to come.
You always leave.
Is that what you believe?
It's what I feel.
You're leaving me. I know it.
I don't want you to go.
Where the hell do you think I'm going?
Please.
It's time.
It's very nearly the end.
It's
very nearly
life.
Extend the
Extend the
hand.
hand. Right. And it's all over with the end. Take me where I'm afraid to go. But where, if you give me your hand, I'll endure going. I write. I extend my hand.
Tell me. Tell me everything.